my name is Blake Erickson, and this is my Lego static project. I've been working on it since December 25th. The video of it actually working is at the end, and it actually works. So I am, like I said, Blake Erickson. I was in 6th grade last September. I'll be in 7th grade. That's how grade works. I'm in Warren County, and I live in New Virginia. I'm in the New Virginia Boosters, and I made it to State Fair, obviously. So I started this project on December 25th, like I said. I started originally just wanting to build a roller coaster after seeing a YouTube video. I saw a YouTube video on a Lego amusement park, and I was like, gee, I wish I could do that myself. So I started out wanting just to build the roller coaster, and at school I actually built a prototype model of this. I didn't get to take it home. I had to redo all of this myself with, my own motor, my own switches, my own IR receivers and speed controllers and stuff. But I made a little model of this to start. So this was technically the first thing I created, but not actually the first thing I created. The first thing I really created was the sign, and I put a lot of detail into this part. This took me a lot of time for something so little. But anyways,
what are we looking at?
The front of the park.
Okay.
Ticket booths.
Ticket booths. Okay.
Yeah. With working these things.
Turnstiles.
Turnstiles. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Mom. And then I went on to the gift shop with a bunch of little merch inside and little shelves. After that, I went to the food booth. I went to the food booth. I made it coral themey. I don't know why, just ocean. After that, I went to the restroom. The little ride under repair. And then to the little aquarium part, tropical area. And then I went to this. And I had been working on the roller coaster the entire time during this, just remaking it and remaking it and remaking it better and better. I just had to get this part, which was the most important part. It's a Lego snot technique. Here, can I have the phone? I have this little area over here. This is where the snot technique comes in. It was extremely hard to get this to work. It's 2 Lego like this, 2 Lego of these, connected together sideways with Lego Technic half pins. That I had to find a lot of these, and then I had to connect them with this method that professionals don't use this. I just didn't have the parts. And I just made up my own method, which isn't really reliable. So, this was the hardest part for me. It was definitely the electronics, they call them Lego power functions. So you have to have the power pack, obviously. You have to have something to power your little circuit. This is called an IR receiver. And it receives signals from the speed control over there. If my mom can point that camera over there. It's just standing to the side. I don't need it right now. It'll be used later in the video. These little connector thingies, I have a little extension cord and then the switch to take it all the way to here. The switch has 2 positions. It's on and off in the middle. The extension cord, this is an extension cord, and this is the motor that actually makes it go. There's also a motor upside down in here that makes this spin, but I can't really take that apart. So the IR receiver gets infrared rays from this to make certain things move, and it's color coded. So this is the green side, that's green, this is blue, this is blue. The blue controls the blue, and the green controls the green. The controller has different channels, and so does this, so that you can have a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can have 1, 2, 3, and 4 different IR receivers at the same time with the same remote. So, the IR receiver, though, it has to have a clear signal to this, and it can send out 2 different signals at the same time. That's why there's a little splitter in between. So, it also transfers the power from this to the motor and over to that. I learned a lot of stuff during this project. I learned a lot about the Lego power function stuff, like that. I had no idea this stuff barely even existed before like a year ago, and even though I had a grasp on it, I didn't really know what it was, like understand fully. I also learned a lot about like structural engineering and like the supports and stuff. Well, Lego structural engineering. Couldn't build a real roller coaster, but I learned a lot about just perseverance in general, because there were a bunch of times I was gonna quit and I was just gonna give up and like do it some other time, and I didn't, and it came out as this. It's messed up. But anyways, never put things off to the last minute. No procrastinating. But I had a lot of problems with the roller coaster and the speed controller stuff. I didn't even have the speed controller at first. I didn't even have the IR receiver. I just had this plugged into this before I entered it, and it went way too fast. It tore the chain apart, and there was too much tension in the chain. I needed to have more slack like this, because if the chain is too tense, it just, like this, all the way there. Don't mind that. It needs to have enough slack to actually move, although it still does get caught sometimes. And I had a lot of trouble with the chain itself, like having enough pieces and having it get through all of here and stay all in place. There were some parts in the video where it went to the side, and this just went down, or it just stayed in one place. This was going forward, and it was staying right there. That's because this track gets over here. I haven't got away to, the track stays over there. I haven't like got away. And it stays on here for a little bit, especially right down there too. It's not a it's only a temporary fix. It's not like a permanent solution, but I don't need it to be a permanent solution because this is not going to be a permanent thing. The roller coaster I may keep and experiment on more, but most of the I would definitely do something like this again. I love Legos. I've always loved Legos. I don't know when I originally went into it, but I'd love to do something like this again, but I would improve by getting this done a lot faster, the actual Technic part, and then working on the Legos, like the details, because I spent too much time on the details and not getting this done.
Thank you.
Thank you.